Now that we're at the exchanger and we're going to brush the ID of these tubes, first thing you want to do is make sure you have your air supply connected to the pistol drill. One thing to be cautious of is that these brushes can actually remove some of the wall of your tubes. So when you're cleaning them out, you'll notice I'm only going to go in and out about 3 to 5 times.
When brushing the tubes, be sure to start with the smallest brush that contacts the tube ID. If too large of a brush is picked to start and it is forced into the tube, the brush could become stuck. Brush enough to remove pitting and ovality where the ring will be installed. If necessary, after the smallest brush was used and there are still pits, use the next size larger brush to remove the pitting. Brushes are sized in 20 thousandths increments, and 30 seconds of brushing should remove about 20 thousandths from the tube ID.
Now that we have identified the tube that we're going to be brushing, venting, and then plugging, first thing you want to do is insert the brush into the ID of the tube. You want to make sure you hold the pistol drill and brush as parallel as possible to the tube so you not break the brush off in the ID of the tube. Next, you're going to push down on the trigger, and like I mentioned earlier, go in and out of the tube 3 to 5 times to make sure that it is properly cleaned. After that, you will remove your finger from the trigger, pull the brush outside the ID of the tube, and check for cleanliness. After you have identified the tube that you're going to be plugging, whether it's with a hammer-driven plug or a snap-it plug, USA always recommends to use one of USA Industries 1-rev cutters to vent or pierce the tube. One thing these cutters have are depth stops. Depth stops are used to make sure that you go a safe distance past the tube sheet, not cutting into the tube sheet. We recommend anywhere from 2 to 4 inches past the tube sheet. First step is you're going to insert the 1-rev cutter into the ID of the tube. After you've inserted into the ID of the tube, you will then take your wrench, put it on the back side of the 1-rev cutter, and turn it until you feel it bite. Once you feel it bite, you will then do a quarter turn. Quarter turn is used for venting or piercing. You can also do a full revolution if you wish to remove the tube. After you have vented and pierced the tube, you will then turn the 1-rev cutter counterclockwise to remove the bit from the incision and then pull it out of the ID of the tube. And now you're ready to install the snap-it plug.